r/out-of-the-loop. Kid says, what's up with the Netflix movie Leave the World Behind getting review bombed? Link to Google reviews. I just watched it, and it was whatever. Looked up reviews as I normally do, and saw a super outsized proportion were 1 star. Then noticed that they're all copy pastes of the same review, all left in the last day or so. Just wondering where that's coming from and what's got people worked up enough over a movie to swarm with copy paste reviews. Dark Things Afoot says, answer, seems like the Obamas made this film. Large portions of the American right still view him as the literal devil and his family the same. They will review bomb this because they hate him. It's politics and people with nothing better to do with their time. Edit, seems like the Obamas did not make the film, but acted as a producer and made some choices on story. Castaway says, and ironically enough, the whole point of the movie, please excuse the spoiler, is that we are not going to survive if we don't learn to get along. Renaissance Slacker says, yes, I felt those themes were explored without being too preachy. Nami9 says, answer, for more information, check out r/conspiracy. They're posting a lot about their reasons for freaking out about it. I think it's silly, personally, but if you're wondering why this is happening, you'll find tons of answers there. Maybe Lynn says, oh man, I haven't been there in a while. The first post is someone wondering why it's warmer out during the winter months than it used to be, and everyone in the comments is very suspicious about it as well. Definitely isn't global warming folks/s. Nate28 says, that sub is basically TD2 at this point. Still blabbering on about a stolen election and how corrupt the left is while ignoring the corruption from the right. r/out-of-the-loop. Captain Frick, I'm Magi says, what's going on with the ice bath obsession? I have been seeing ice bath videos come across my feed on YouTube pretty frequently, and now some friends and colleagues are beginning to talk about it. What's the deal? Real health benefit? Placebo? Fat? Retired 401 says, answer, vagus nerve stimulation is having a moment, as is the idea of resetting one's dopamine levels/increasing dopamine concentrations. Ice baths among other things are said to stimulate the vagus nerve and to substantially increase dopamine levels. Alaka Hipster says, isn't this nerve also responsive for fainting? Retired 401 says, meaning esophageal syncope. Yep. Which is why peeps need to be careful when trying things that are trending. Resident Narwhal says, answer, there's been some limited studies that show tentative benefits for ice baths increasing dopamine and testosterone. Several prominent influencers and podcasters in either biohacking or masculinity movements and spheres have jumped on recommending them, like Joe Rogan or Andrew Huberman, so it's picked up popularity, particularly among men trying to optimize their lifestyle or workouts. However, it should be noted the benefits are very small and generally need much more research. It's also a general criticism of the bio-optimizing movement that the variety of things done to optimize performance, health and testosterone won't actually stack on top of each other. So if you do like a half dozen natural things that have tentative slight possible benefit to raise your testosterone, certain herbals, ice baths, butthole sunning, yes, real. Much less popular. Well, they aren't all going to springboard off each other to bring your hormone levels into the stratosphere. r/out-of-the-loop. Thatreshi Angaral says, what's the deal with so much seed oil hate? I have heard random people on social media or various reality shows say for a while that seed oils are OIDK, basically poison and the new thing to hate in food, or whatever gets these people going. It feels like such an anasu. But just now I saw a subreddit called r/stop hitting seed oils crawl across my feed, and like, what the actual? What is the basic simple argument for this, and is it mostly anecdotal, or is there proven scientific evidence that I'm just doodle about? Thanks. T1NP3NNY says. Answer: seed oils are often extracted from the plant solids using solvents. Solvents naturally evaporate with added warmth, so manufacturers take advantage of basic physics by evaporating them from the oils after extraction. Since solvents are chemicals, some people have latched into this and spread fear about adverse health effects without adequate scientific backing to support their claims. Elliot 2030 says. So. The usual. I'm so embarrassed I believed all that stuff for so long. Dunstermeister says. But chemtrails oh lol. Krazaham Sales says. Answer: sounds like another wild witch hunt on consumer products to me. Scintillating Void says. Answer: there is fear that some seed oils are unstable in a certain way that makes them release free radicals, thus being carcinogenic. IDK about the science on this one. Zarachol98 says. Answer: people seem to think seed oils cause all sorts of diseases. The argument is usually something about oxidized oils. This means the oil has reacted with oxygen, or basically gone a little rancid. This kind of reaction is particularly common for certain seed oils, because they are extracted with heat or chemicals, to get more oil than you would get from just squeezing. The arguments usually have something in them about omega-3 vs omega-6 content in oils. Seed oils tend to have more omega-6 and less omega-3. This is probably actually a little bad, but TBD. There's some research into this showing basically, seed oils are maybe somewhat toxic to cells in a petri dish, and are maybe somewhat toxic to mice. There's no good studies saying they're bad for humans. This is the thing that people trying to write scientific articles about. r/OutOfTheLoop. Numeral number says. What's the deal with thinking you have a penicillin allergy if you don't have one? I thought I've had side effects to medications, but never an allergy. Is this from like just general people's anxiety to being sick? Like taking a medicine while they are sick makes them think it's the medicine itself causing the problem and not the sickness? I don't know how a penicillin allergy would have presented itself in the first place. And Smilangrinid says. Answer: most allergies present themselves as anaphylaxis, watering eyes, itchy skin, etc. Caused by your immune system overreacting to the medication. These symptoms can usually be treated with antihistamines like Benadryl, if they are mild enough. However, many people misinterpret medication side effects with allergies. Antibiotic side effects often include nausea and vomiting. People who experience this may mistake it for being allergic to the medicine, while in reality it is a well-known side effect that is not caused by your immune system reacting to the medicine. East Last Coast says. Confusingly, nausea and vomiting can also be signs of allergic or anaphylactic reaction. When you report those symptoms, some doctors will err on the side of caution and chart it as an allergic reaction, especially if they can't investigate it further. Spelliferous says. Answer: a lot of children get labeled as having an amoxicillin, cousin of penicillin, allergy because it will often cause a rash when it gets given for viral illness. So, when people expect to be given antibiotics for a virus illness, or when an illness is maybe viral / maybe bacterial, they get antibiotics, often a penicillin related medicine, and then get a rash. Then they get labeled as penicillin or amoxicillin allergic even when they don't have any other symptoms of an actual allergy. Later, they grow up and have no idea what their reaction was because it happened so long ago, so they just keep telling people they are allergic to it. Tada, penicillin allergy not really being an allergy. r/OutOfTheLoop. Iris Thesiclop says. What's going on with Betterhelp? I was scrolling through a few YouTube videos and saw that the comments were talking negatively about it, like those ones. Example, I've always thought the whole company was sus, but I don't know why or what happened for everyone to wake up. Is there a lawsuit or something? White Pangolin says. Answer, Betterhelp is basically a scam, and they spend so much money on influencer marketing that their service is inescapable. Nearly every big influencer has at some point pushed their service and their advertising is everywhere. Betterhelp also sells patient data to pharmaceutical companies and interest groups. Betterhelp, for those who don't know, is a text and chat service with licensed therapists that you pay a monthly fee for, instead of the traditional patient-therapist route. The more traditional therapist route would have you find a licensed therapist and then pay either through an insurer or out of pocket. This turns a lot of people off because it's cumbersome and expensive, and BetterHelp is an easier, cheaper alternative. BetterHelp, however, really is not a substitute for therapy. In therapy, you work with a singular doctor who you meet regularly with and creates a plan to improve your mental health. BetterHelp is essentially a customer service text and chat system. You get matched with a therapist. Usually they give tepid, unhelpful vague advice and you essentially swipe through until you find someone who might help you. But it's really not a great service. I've used BetterHelp and had a terrible experience. Every therapist I matched with gave terrible vague half-assed feedback. Now I have a proper therapist and my mental health has significantly improved. It's pretty nefarious the way BetterHelp has preyed on susceptible, mentally ill people and made a market and market data out of them. Stay. Dubai Admiral says. My general practitioner recommended me to it surprisingly. I've had one therapist assigned to me. We did video conferences. After meeting with her a month, she moved my session to another week at the last minute and recently told me she'd no longer be providing therapy on BetterHelp. Told me if I felt I still needed therapy to request being paired with another therapist. It was hard enough getting up the courage to try this to begin with, and I felt pretty good with the weekly lessons she'd give me. Now I'm supposed to start all over again. That's all for this video. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe.